Okay, what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. We trying to get this mic together. I slapped it on, but it needs to be, it needs to be like where I can hear, where you can hear, where it's not going up against anything. This needs to be redesigned to look like this. I just need a smaller size. I got a smaller size and I got too small of a size. And it's not giving me one when I skip, but this is what it's giving me. And I have another track jacket, but it's a crop track jacket. And so, but the collar is like, it gives me what I need in the collar. There's so much room back here. But anyway, so we're down here to talk about the Bell Collective, and hopefully you guys can hear me good. I tested the mic, the first mic I tested. Um, the first mic I tested. Um, there we are. It was given that echo sound. I don't know where that comes from. I didn't press anything special on the thing, so I have no idea. So we're down here to talk about Bell Collective. I had to watch the end of Bell Collective because I kind of checked out. I thought it was longer than it was, and obviously it wasn't. It ended right when Tambra got up to leave after Leticia started yelling. Do y'all? Oh my God! It was transcribing everything I was saying. That's hilarious, girl. This is a mess. Let me delete this. You got to be careful. So Leticia and Glenn, we start off where we left off, where Leticia has on her Renaissance concert outfit, and they're sitting in the bar. Marie has already left the bar. Leticia and Glendale are sitting there. She asked him, "Why the F are you here?" He said, she told him, "You texted me and told me that you were on the boat. So what's going on? You said you were on the boat, but you doing this popping up stuff. He has never done this much popping up." Cliff is always popping up on Latrice, and she's figuring that's where he's actually getting it from. You keep listening to him, and he's turning you into someone else. Honestly, I think that Leticia is using Cliff as a scapegoat. Yes, Cliff is learned. Yes, Glenn is learning some ineffective ways to approach his partner. Okay, but he wasn't shit before he met Cliff. So you trying to act like he's getting these new ideas, and yes, he might be getting new ideas and being influenced by Cliff in ways to relate to you, but you was going through this before you even knew who the Cliff was. So don't use Cliff as a scapegoat. I ain't going up for Cliff, even though I have my little patch of hair sitting on top of my head. I had to retie this, girl. Anyway, you have these expectations of me, and he's used to living or following a traditional mindset. And he used to be the breadwinner, and he needs to work on his insecurities. If you want to be with an entrepreneur, you're going to have to work on your insecurities. I think overall men just have to work on how, what their position means next to a woman. This collective energy where the woman is needed in order for the man to actually be qualified or be seen as a man, like they need this woman to behave a certain way because it's a testament to his manhood. I'll tell you one thing, and I'm going to tell it to you right now. No person outside of me can tell me about my womanhood. Nobody. No woman. No man. Nobody. I don't give a damn the race, gender identity, religion. No one can tell me how to define my womanhood. And nobody outside of me, their behavior does not dictate how I show up as a woman. So for this collective energy, even TD Jakes he had a sermon where we've talked about it before, where he's like, he names all of these negative adjectives that are assigned to masculinity and saying that women are demonstrating all of these harmful ways that men perform masculinity, saying that she's being rewarded in the corporate world for acting like a man. And when we are up, the men have feel like they don't have a need, and you don't. And that's where I think they get hung up. There is no need for you. So that means that you actually have to be nice to be around, because I don't need you. Somebody that you need, their behavior and how they treat you, you can't really be concerned with that because you're in need of them. So you don't care how they treat you. So many women who needed men, they had to deal with the man being emotionally uh, detached, only like not doing anything, being abusive, being mistreating the woman, mistreating his children, you know, not being emotionally there for his children, his wife, for nobody, just coming in, being grumpy, being miserable, being disagreeable, all the negative attributes that TD Jakes assigned to how women are acting and why men don't feel like they're not needed. That's the behaviors that y'all attribute, and it makes you not nice to have around. So if you want to be around a woman who is ambitious and is up on her game, who does not actually need you, I think that's where a lot of people fall into a trap. You want to be in a relationship with a person because you want them to need you. That codependent shit is dead. It's dead. Y'all got to kill it. It's dead. He says, I always tell you how proud I am of you. If you say that I don't, you will lie. She tells him, you would like me to be more submissive. I told you yesterday that woman and submissive is an oxymoron. It literally is an oxymoron, and it is an unnatural state for a woman who is chaotic creative energy, to be confined to a submissive place. Girl, it's too much, it's juicy, too much sugar, honey. So she says, well, I've never been that. He wants her to be more submissive. And she's like, I've never been that. First of all, you've been with this lady since you were 18 years old. You guys are in your mid 30s. And you are now asking her, based on influence from another man and how he interacts with his wife, who has daddy issues, and the reason why she behaves the way she behaves in her relationship is because she has some wounds that are unhealed. So what looks like for you on the outside looking in, you like, oh, he has him a wife, a young wife, calls him zaddy, does what he says. When he pops up and shows up to places, she actually gets up and leaves with him. She doesn't tell him to go. She does what he says. She's submissive. She's submissive. And you see that, you look at that woman and you think that that's good, and you want your partner to behave in that way, even though you've been with this person for half of your life and they've never been that. So all of a sudden, in this at the 18-year mark, or the 20, I think they've been together 20 years. At the 20-year mark, you want her to be more submissive because you like Latrice. I would like for my wife to be more like Latrice and be submissive. That's what he said. He said, as a matter of fact, I would like my wife. He wants Leticia to be more like Latrice. All right. So yeah, he said he would like for her to be more submissive. She says she's never been that. And then she says that she is getting ready to go. She's like, I'm about to go. Now, mind you, he had showed up to the bar where her and Marie were having a girls' night, and Marie left. So now she says, I'm about to leave. And he says, if Marie had been here, y'all would be sitting up here for 3 more hours. So when they get outside, he follows her outside because she leaves. He follows her outside, and she's like, so what is it that you want from me? Like, what do you want from me? Like, what is it that you know what I want? You know what I want. And I think a lot of couples experience this. People that are coupled with heterosexual men socializing under a patriarchy have issues communicating. Now, being that there's statistics that say for boys, their reading level is like below the 9th grade, below the 10th grade. Literally, the average person has an 8th grade reading level, unfortunately. But that's just the way of the world. So even when I'm designing material, we have to make sure that the reading level, that the person reading this has at least an 8th grade reading level. Like they should be able to understand the material if they have at least an 8th grade reading level, at least. I think that contributes to the miscommunication that women often have in heterosexual relationships. The men don't actually, and I tell my sons this all the time. So many things that happen when you are lacking in your lexicon. So many things. When you don't have the words to express yourself, one, I tell them nobody's going to want to talk to you. No one is going to want to have a conversation with you because you are not going to be able to understand what they're saying or be able to have the words to express how you feel about whatever the topic is. Another reason why you should have a good vocabulary, an extensive vocabulary, at least, I mean, to be able to have a conversation. But I tell them, if you don't have the words to express yourself as a boy growing into a man, you are likely to become annoyed and act out physically because you don't have the words. And how come you don't have the words? It's because you're not picking up books. You're not even reading newspapers. Like if y'all would just read a newspaper, y'all not reading at all. And so then you try to find these relationships with these women, and women communicate. We are better communicators. We read more. Therefore, we have more than 3 words to explain how we feel about something, right? We have emotions outside of anger, frustration, and lust. Those are the 3 emotions that a lot of men just seem to just only be able to access. But after that, it's like they don't know how to explain themselves. And people complain about it. You end up in a lot of physical altercations because somebody with the words, and that's why they tell women to watch what you say to men. Women have the words and they don't have the words they have the words in relationships with men because they don't have the physicality to be able to communicate the way you all know how to communicate. So instead of verbally sparring with a woman, you'd rather just go like that man told me in the comments. Let's go hand to hand combat. Girl, what the fuck are you talking about? Hand to hand combat? Girl, you sound crazy as hell. How do you resolve men being violent towards women? Oh, let's do hand to hand combat. You need us to protect you. And I'm going to show you. And the way I'm going to prove it, we're going to do hand to hand combat. Girl. Okay, you're gonna be fighting the air, boo. You're gonna be fighting by yourself, looking crazy. For real. Boom. For real. It's real. I don't know why this damn thing keeps on closing, but I need it to stay open. So he says, I need the real you. What's the real me? He was like, man, you good, whatever, you good. Like he can't explain what he wants from her. He wants you to just do what he says. You don't do what I say. That's you got the wrong. You need to go get you an animal. You need to go get you a bird, a caterpillar, a motherfucking cat. You need to get you an iguana. You need to get you something that when you tell it what to do, it's going to do what you tell it to do. You can't do that with women. And I want women to stop acting like all a man has to do is tell you what to do and you will do it. Y'all got to stop selling that. And number 2, no man should be looking to a woman to just do what they say. If you want a woman to do what you say, first of all, you probably need to go join the military and go up in the ranks so that you can tell the cadets what to do. And then they'll listen to you. But you just being in a relationship with a woman and you want her to do what you say to do. No, you know what I want from you. She was like, I don't know what you want from me. You want me to be submissive? I'm not that. You just need to listen to me. She says, you can't take the elevated me. I don't like the elevated you. Can you imagine someone tell you elevation, right? And here we go back to the use of words and being able to understand what these words mean. Elevated means to uplift, to lift up, above. Let's just look it up. Let's just look it up, what elevated means. And for your partner to tell you that they don't like it when you are situated or placed higher than a surrounding area. I don't like you when you're elevated because you're jealous. You heard her say you're jealous. He says, I'm not jealous. Yes, you are. You are jealous. You don't get to come and go crazy on me because he acted like he wanted to leave now. So she running in her little sequin outfit. She running her outfit talking about, you don't get to come over here and create conflict and havoc and destroy the environment and then want to leave because you don't get your way. You want to throw a tantrum, destroy the place, disturb her peace. That's what she said. You came here to disturb my peace. You just mad because I'm not responding like Latrice would. Latrice would actually be like, okay, daddy, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go with you. I just don't, there's no person in the world. There's no one. I don't give a fuck who it is that I would look a fool for, especially on motherfucking TV. Ain't no fucking way. If these niggas embarrassing y'all on national TV, bro, and then you are falling in line like a weak bitch. That's what tears me up about you entrepreneurial women who are elevated and are at higher statuses. And one, you date niggas beneath you. I said it, I used the right word, beneath you, not elevated, but beneath you. Then they're jealous and resentful. And now you have issues with this person. And then you acquiesce to things they want you to do because your behavior is determined on how well he shows up as a man. Because he needs to feel needed. And you let these niggas run around and you play this game and act like this, that you need this man. Y'all need to stop acting like and acting in these relationships. Y'all need to take the mask off in your relationships. Stop acting and placating to the ego, the fragile ego of a man, and stand up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. He comes into her space. He disrupts her peace. He pops up on her. He shows up unannounced. Then expects to sit there and have a pleasant conversation. And then mad when she wants to get up and leave. But then you tell her, I don't like the elevated you. I don't like the elevated you. You just said I was jealous of you. We have never been jealous of each other. We always had each other's back. This is what Leticia is telling him. You ain't never been jealous of me. You hanging around with this man and he's putting all this shit in your head and you are coming up here acting like a damn fool. You and Cliff that relationship ain't working for our relationship. And that's just what it is. I'm sick of you hanging out with Cliff. She let his ass have it. And he over there looking stupid. But at the end of the episode, they exchange he gives her first wedding ring that he's given her. She puts it on. She tells him this is his last chance. Because how many last chances has he had? This is his final warning. How many times have you warned him in the past? Over 18 years, I would say you've probably warned him 18 times. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I believe that Leticia has given this man at least 18 chances. And I don't know why. Willie and JJ go play golf. I really love Willie and JJ's relationship. I love the city slicker country bumpkin relationship. I am here for it. Baby, when JJ said, Willie don't know nothing about no barbecue. Baby, I enjoyed that so much. But they were basically playing golf. And Willie said that he doesn't think that Cliff is a good friend. He doesn't think that he was just very clear and forthright. I don't think Cliff is a good friend. JJ said, what? Man, I've been trying to tell y'all that. I've been trying to tell y'all that nigga ain't shit. That's what he wanted to say. I've been trying to tell y'all that motherfucker ain't shit. I feel like he's steering Glenn in the wrong direction. I feel like we have to save Glenn. So I'm gonna have a 70s barbecue party, and we're gonna have a barbecue ribs contest between Willie and JJ. And Willie don't know nothing about no barbecue. Hold on, let me let you hear what he said. It's funny to me. Here we go. I'm a little man, but goddamn boy, I got a big appetite when it comes to that seasoning. So you say your ribs gonna be better than my ribs? I think the Bells should be the judge over who got the best barbecue. Willie don't know nothing about no barbecue. Man, I'm gonna be I don't know nothing about no barbecue. And I'll tell you, JJ, his ass is country as hell. I live for it. I love their little relationship. Do y'all like their little relationship? I do. I think it is really cute. I feel like it's really genuine. I feel like they're not just doing it for the cameras. And so they're gonna have a barbecue ribs contest. I guess we're gonna see who wins on the next episode. But they're gonna have a 70s party barbecue in the backyard and what have you. So that they're gonna plan that. They're not going to invite Cliff and Latrice because they want to get Glenn there to talk to Glenn about his relationship with Cliff and how it's affecting the way he's showing up. And like he is having an influence, but I think as a grown ass man for another grown ass, old ass, granddaddy face ass nigga to have such a negative impact on your life, you don't see it as negative. You don't see how your wife is responding to the things that you say that have been influenced by the things that he said to you. You come into her with some shit about being submissive after 18 years in a relationship, girl. Are you fucking crazy? Are you smoking crack? What are you and Cliff doing together? Because the shit y'all saying is not even making sense. Speaking of reefer. So what happened after that? Okay. So Latrice, Tambra comes over to Goddess Links, right? And Latrice just happened to be there. She's in the back. Joshy is getting some hair, some bundles in the back for Tambra. And so Tambra tells Latrice that she's going to have a women's dinner for community leaders and business owners and for people who have businesses in Jackson, Mississippi. So none of the other women are invited, but because they actually don't own any businesses in Jackson, right? And Latrice has stated before that her business is actually in Jackson, even though she doesn't live in Jackson. Marie is definitely not invited. Tambra says she's not fooling with her at all because of what she did with her. Let me tell you something. If I had a friend group and two of the women went to go meet with my ex, they wouldn't even have to ask me to leave. I would leave the friend group. You ain't gotta go nowhere, honey. Y'all can stay in your friend group together. If I was Tambra, see, this is where it makes things weird because in real life, I'm sure Tambra would not be in community with them women anymore. You went to go talk to my ex, a nigga that I was in court with. You'll never be able to do it again. So she said Maria's not coming to the thing. She says very clearly she's protecting her energy because her pregnancy is high risk. So she's not having any problems. She don't want any problems with nobody. Marie Monroe goes with Zuri to her dance practice. And her mother shows up, right? And she's basically saying that it's important for her to be there for Zuri because when she used to go to her dance practices, it used to be her dad there, not her mother there, right? Where is Marie's dad? Have we seen him at all? He raised her, right? Mama left. She left because she was addicted. She has mental health issues. I mean, addiction is a mental health issue. But she has an addiction and she has mental health mental health issues. So her mother was a piece of work growing up. And you know what? And she tells her mother shows up. Her and Zuri, did you see Marie dancing? Marie's mother shows up. Zuri is over there sitting on her left while Marie is practicing her side of the dance because they're going to do a mommy-daughter dance, which I thought is so cute. But we see Marie up there learning her 8 count or whatever. And then she says she looks over and she sees Zuri sitting on her mother's lap. So she goes over there to talk to the mama. And the mama's like, yeah, she's like, Mom, I'm so glad you're here, this and that. So her mother tells her once again, you wouldn't be where you are today if it wasn't for me. So then her mother explains that I left you with who I thought you would be in good hands with. I could not your life would have been different had I been taking you with me, girl. I said, yeah, she's absolutely right. Ain't no telling what Marie would have gone through had her mother been dragging her around as she was in the midst of her addiction. She could have been harmed, sold, honey. People be selling their kids for drugs. They do. It sounds crazy as hell, but I mean, we hear about it all the time. People being arrested, parents being arrested on the news because they tried to sell their child for $60 in exchange for some crack or some meth or something, or some kind of opioid or something. Yeah, these women of all races around here selling their children for some drugs. So when she says your life, if I didn't leave you and took you with me, you would have had a different life. So I was like, okay, I get what she's saying, because there are those parents that, like, you ain't had shit to do with my life, but as soon as I'm up, elevated, okay, as soon as I'm elevated, here's your ass. What are you here looking in my face for, right? All of a sudden they want to take credit when you are elevated, right? When you ain't shit, then they don't have nothing to do with that. But when she put it that way, because I was like, is she trying to take credit for her success? No, she's saying, if I would have took you with me, if I didn't leave you, your whole life would have been different. And she has a point. Mama got a point. So I ain't mad at her mother. Um, but her mother's agreeing to therapy. So hopefully she can get in therapy and get this chemical dependency under control. Glenn invites Leticia. They're on another date, child. Well, he crashed the first one with her and Marie, but they're on a date at a bowling alley. She tells him, why you got me up here in this bowling alley all loud and stuff? He said, because you get loud. I said, oh, no, that's come on, I'm gonna take you to a loud place so when you start elevating your voice, we don't look completely crazy in here. Um, I just want to make sure we're good. I came back to apologize. I want you to know I'm very proud of you. Our lives are changing. We've changed a lot. I'm trying to be the person for her. I'm trying to figure out what position I can play. That's what a lot of men who are not needed in relationships, they don't even know what to do. They're like, okay, well, what the fuck do I do? But at the same time, this woman is calling you a leader and you don't know what to do until she gives you instructions. How the fuck are you the leader? If you have to wait to figure out, where am I needed? What does this woman need to do for me? If you don't make your fucking ass useful, then you're not needed, bro. And that's what's leaving a lot of men in these nursing homes all by themselves. No woman, no children, nobody. Because y'all don't know how to show up. Y'all don't know how to show up. And people don't want you around. Like, go away with all this misery, this being disagreeable, argumentative all the time, grumpy. You're curmudgeon, like literally grumpy all the time, not emotionally connected. But you pay all the bills, and that you figure that's the extent of your necessity. It's not. You have to be there more. Y'all be saying the two-parent home, two-parent home, two-parent home, but there are so many children that come from two-parent homes who will tell you about how their father related to them and it was very toxic and unhealthy, or not at all. Some people said their fathers hardly even spoke to them. Father in the home every fucking day didn't speak to them unless he was telling them what to do something. But having normal just conversations with your father, he wasn't available. He wasn't even emotionally available enough to have conversations that were actually deep. So you niggas need to, instead of depending on women to need you and to be in this codependent relationship, you need to find your position and make yourself useful and stop waiting for somebody to give you instructions. How the fuck are you calling yourself the head of household and the leader when all of your instructions come from the woman? A lot of y'all be giving men leadership positions that they're undeserving. If you were to be in a work environment or a corporate environment and these men were applying for the role of husband and all they were able to do were pay the bills and nothing else, he's useless. He's absolutely useless. You wouldn't hire him. You need for a husband to be this, and this, and all he's coming with is a bank account. No, that's not enough. And y'all got these, and the way that we have structured society where money is a man's commodity and beauty is a woman's commodity, women are looking for men who are financially stable. You shouldn't be looking for a man to financially take care of you. That's something that I just don't understand. You should be looking for somebody that can go in with you on a business. And what is that business? Marriage. You want to go in with me? Right? We're going to be equal partners in this business that we're creating, that we're calling a marriage, because it's a business. You need a license to do it. Okay? Same way you need a license to do somebody's hair. Same way you need a license to clean somebody's blackheads out of their face. Same way you need a license to what? Fly a plane. You need a license, okay, to have a business of marriage. So how are you going in a partnership and this person has all financial control? You wouldn't do that in any other. If I wanted to go in business with you and I came to you and I said, I got the money, I got the capital, let's start a business. But I'm also going to be the head of this, the CFO, the COO, the CEO. But you can manage, you could do all the admin stuff. You can actually do the labor of it. But I'm the man and I'm in control. I have the money and that's my contribution, and I'm going to have say over everything as well, because you're going to give me that power. If you would not go into business with me if I came to you like that. And that's how y'all are accepting these people. I have nothing else to offer but a protection and provision. But at the same time, intimate partner violence rates look the way they do. So are they really actually equipped to do the job when they killing the damn employee? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all give these men undeserving leadership roles. You do. That's like you getting upset because a white person got the job over a black person. A man got the job just simply because he's a man. You giving these men jobs just because they have penises and a bank account. That's it. That's all they qualify to do. And then you wonder why the other parts that you need in order for the relationship to be stable, he can't even perform those things. But you've hired him. You've hired him. You've hired him for a job, and he only had two qualifications: penis and a payroll. And you see him, you deem him qualified, and they deem themselves qualified. I got a dick, bitch. I got a dick, and I got a little money. Don't you want to marry me? You don't know nothing else. He don't have no other fucking qualifications. Y'all set the shit up like that, and y'all been accepting that shit for a long time. Y'all give these men undeserving roles. Undeserving. And then let the community believe that this man has this vanity title as the head of household when you're the one managing the home. You're the one managing the finances. You're the one managing the children and all their extracurricular activities. Shout out to the women who knew how to set their relationships up with their partners to be egalitarian. We gonna both come in here doing the same thing. I'm gonna play to your weaknesses. You gonna play to mine. We're gonna develop your weaknesses, develop mine. You're going to play to your strengths. I'm going to play to mine. And we're going to go into this relationship equally. I remember talking to this guy and he was telling me how, because I was asking him, like, how were you raised in your household? You know, his mother and father still together. Um, but there were no gender roles, where this domesticated, worker mule was given to the woman, and the man was basically just overseeing her, letting her know what to do and what needs to be done. You do what I say. And he said, no, it wasn't like that in my house. Everybody contributed where things needed to be done. If the dishes needed washed, my father was in there washing dishes. That's the kind of house I grew up in. My grandfather cooked, cleaned. Now, one thing I will tell you, my grandmother was not outside on no ladder painting the house when my grandfather used to paint the house every few years. She wasn't outside doing that kind of work. The garden was my grandfather's. That was my grandfather's garden. I didn't understand. All of that kind of shit. And even in my aunt, on my maternal side, she's my godmother as well. In her relationship with my uncle, very egalitarian. Ain't no gender roles here. He's an educator or retired educator. She's retired human resources. They've built a family and a life and children and homes and properties and shit. Do you think they would have gotten that far if he was some fucking man talking about you gotta do this because you got a vagina? No, that shit don't work. This is 2020. Nigga, how many times I gotta tell you we are plugging in our cars? We are powering our homes with solar energy. Why are you agreeing to fall into some archaic system that traditionally, historically, generationally has not served you? Why are you doing that? And why are you playing these games with these men? I don't get it. If you don't find yourself useful, you're not going to find yourself a partner, sir. And nobody needs you. They don't need you for protection. They don't need you for provisions. That's the gag. Y'all are not needed. And nobody wants to hear anyone tell a man he's not needed. Nigga, make yourself useful. Find your way. And whatever work needs to be done, the work needs to be done. Do it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Really don't. They really don't. Um, she says, I need you. He said, what position can I play? I know I went off on a tangent, but she's not the only one. I see it every day. He says, she said, I need you to be a cheerleader for me. Support me when I'm doing my things. Don't try to sabotage me. What you will notice when it's always time for you and your elevation and you to accomplish things, if the person creates conflict at a time where you are supposed to be being celebrated, or they create a scene, what these men like to do when women are graduating, when women are getting promotions, when women are making accomplishments that have nothing to do with the man. If she has a male partner, he's going to propose because he needs to make it about himself. There's too many eyes and cheers on her. I need to make this, we need to refocus and recenter all this shit on me. So while you have graduated and got your PhD, got your master's, whatever the fuck, got your certification, whatever the hell you got, and he starts to get his ass on one knee, tell him to get his ass up. This is my motherfucking day. Because they believe you can make all the accomplishments, have all the fucking degrees on the wall. Your life ain't complete until you got a penis in proximity to you. And they truly believe that. And you will act like it. You will act like you have all these accolades on the wall and will act a plumb fool over a person with a penis. A fucking idiot. So they figure you can have all these things, but your life ain't complete until you got a penis in proximity. So you can get promoted today and be celebrating with my friends, but nothing is more important than this, me getting on one knee and about to propose to you. Because that's really what you want, isn't it? So I'm going to tear everything up. You graduated today. You got your PhD in psychology. You got the ultimate honors. But I'm going to get down on one knee and propose. I'm going to take it all off of you and put it on me. And guess what you're going to do? Because you don't want to hurt his ego, you're going to accept his proposal. You don't even know what the proposal looks like. You haven't even read over the proposal. You haven't read the terms and conditions. You haven't read the fine print. Y'all accepting proposals without actually seeing the proposal. And you're about to create a business with this person. I have a proposal for you. Let's go into business together. Okay, let's see the proposal. I have money. I have a penis. Oh, okay. Yes. No, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better. You can't throw people away, girl. How many mistakes do you have to make before the person you want to make all these mistakes? I'm flawed. I'm flawed. I've made mistakes. You've cheated on this woman to the point where you had to have a paternity test. So not only are you dishonoring your commitment to the relationship by in the way of infidelity, but you are putting this woman's health at risk, her safety at risk, her health at risk. One, because you're having sex unprotected. Her safety. What if this bitch is crazy and wants to put a fucking rabbit on our fucking stove? Huh? Or pick our kid up from school and take him to the goddamn carnival and run his ass crazy on a carousel. So you put this woman's health at risk, her safety at risk, her mental health at risk. Mental health. Because now and emotional health. Because you're cheating on her. You've dishonored her. So you've put her life at risk. You've dishonored her. And y'all take these niggas back. And then wonder why they play in your face. Doing the fucking Cupid shuffle in your fucking face. And then you take them back. This is the last chance. How many fucking chances have you gave this man for him to be like, I just made a mistake, I'm flawed? Doesn't mean I'm unworthy of love. Doesn't mean you're unworthy of love. But for you to believe that the only way that you can get love, I must have dropped some reefer. The only way that you can get love is through intimacy and an intimate partner, because that's a trap. That's a trap. I need love. I want love. It doesn't mean I'm unworthy of love. Baby, if you don't find you a fucking dog, because that's unconditional love and really isn't unconditional, because a motherfucker will bite you if you don't feed them. Okay. So that shit ain't unconditional either. But the truth is, y'all believe that the only way that you can get love is through an intimate partner, and it's not. So yes, you can make 1,000 mistakes. Doesn't mean you're unworthy of love. But what it does mean is you're unsuitable for partnerships, for intimate partnerships. That's not your bag. You can't even honor your commitment. You don't have any self-control, sir. And isn't that part of being a man? Having self-control? Y'all have it fucked up. Because when you look at the animals, the men, they bring order. They're not creating chaos. They're not filming while somebody's fighting or getting their licks in while somebody's fighting. They're actually trying to mediate and stop the fighting. They're actually trying to bring order. That's a masculine trait, bringing order. But a lot of you guys just run through causing chaos, confusion, destruction, destroying, extracting, subtracting. And then you want somebody to partner with you? I got a penis and a check. We've been through so much. I've heard so much. You got to be all in. This is your last chance. So they go to the barbecue 70s party. Glenn and Willie got, not Willie, Glenn and JJ got on the same shirt and pants. The women dressed them alike. The wives dressed them alike. I've seen that happen on, I think it was a TikTok. It might have been it might have been on Twitter. But a group of women, a group of couples, okay, were getting together, and all of the women got together and dressed all of the men alike. Your wife is dressing you. Now I understand, like it to me, for certain situations, I need you to be coordinated. So this is what I want you to wear. Right? But all of these men allowed their wives, like toddlers, to dress them. And all these niggas showed up to dinner with the same fucking shirt on, simply because their wife told them to wear it. I told you to wear it. You wore it. But then in community, this motherfucker is the head of household. These vanity titles that you're giving these motherfuckers. So Glenn and JJ had on the same exact costume. Everybody showed up. Keisha and Willie showed up. Everybody's outfit was pretty cute. Tambra did not come with the outfit on, and I think Latrice didn't. Oh no, Latrice wasn't invited. She wasn't invited. Tamra didn't have a costume on. But Marie didn't have a costume on. Marie didn't have a costume on either. So they're all sitting at the table. They told Marie and Tambra it was time to talk. And Tamara said, I don't have nothing to say. I wouldn't have nothing to say. I wouldn't fuck. Bitch, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how. Baby, I stopped. Girl, somebody told me they contacted my ex to find out some information about my fucking kids, right? Instead of calling me, asking me, you called my ex or spoke to my ex, prayed for him. I don't speak to that person. I prayed. I don't speak to that person anymore. You call the motherfucker that put his hands on me, the motherfucker that caused me a lot of turmoil, and you calling him to ask him questions about me and my motherfucking kids? Are you okay? You won't be able to do it again. Your access to me is out of here. It's gone. You have no access to me. You will not speak to me. You will not be able to do it again. When I tell y'all I don't play that shit. And for me, I have fixed energy in my chart. So for me, I can fall into a habit, right? And already being a creature of habit as a human being, but to have some fixed energy in your chart, in your natal chart, you're more than likely to be predictable, repeat things over and over. People have to break cycles for you. It's hard for you to break habits and stuff like that. So it may take me a second, but once I cut your ass off, you're gonna be like, she act like I'm not even alive. You goddamn right. You dead to me. Ain't nothing. So for Marie, for us to be on a show together, you go to some nigga I haven't been in a relationship with in over 5 years, and you go to him and sit down across from him, we doing a show together. And then you gonna turn around and tell Tamra, well, you should have told us that he was like a unsavory character. You should have let us know. Why would I let you know about a person that I haven't been in communication with or contact with in years? I haven't even thought about this person, and y'all sitting across from this person. I don't fuck with you ever again. And I don't blame Tamara. Bitch, I don't fuck with you, Marie. You met with a motherfucker that I was in court with. What were you trying to get out of him? Well, we didn't know. I didn't know that was there. You knew whatever. There's no reason for you to be sitting across from him for any amount of reason. She said, I don't have nothing to say to Marie. She showed me who she was. Marie said, what you mean by that? What you mean by that statement? I showed you who I was. Bitch, your action showed me that you're so low down in the gutter that you would go sit across from a motherfucker I was in court with and I haven't been with in over 5 years. You ain't shit, bitch. I'm never talking to you again. You will never have access to me again. And that will be it. And that will be it. I do not blame Tambra for not fucking with Marie at all. At all. To that extent, you sitting across from a motherfucking man, and then whatever he tells you, you gonna bring it back and throw it in my face? A motherfucker I was in court with, bitch? Never again. I would cut Marie off so fucking fast. Bitch, if this was a real friend group, I wouldn't be in the friend group anymore. It would be a wrap because you bitches are dangerous. You sitting across, not from another bitch, but from a man. And then you want to call this shit a sisterhood. Bitch, ain't no sisterhood when you sitting across from a motherfucker who caused me pain, trying to get information on me. We ain't friends. We ain't never going to be friends. We won't even be acquaintances, bitch. I didn't know if he was a problem, then you should have told us. Bitch, you shouldn't have been seeking anybody that knows me to talk to me about anything about me. Bitch, if you want to know anything about me, ask me. Well, you so manipulative. You like to manipulate. You cold with the manipulation game. She was like, Tamara was like, what are you talking about? Marie was like, you cold with the manipulation game. You cold with it. What are you talking about, girl? Let me make sure this bitch is on. She was like, you've been lying from day one. You didn't want Aikisha in the group. Leticia saying, you didn't want Aikisha in the group. She was like, that's not true, and I'm standing on it. So we don't know what the truth is because Tambra is not admitting. Tambra also called them dark-skinned women ugly. Now, being from the South and being light-skinned, you cannot expect for them not to have those ideas in their head, right? Even dark-skinned people have those ideas in their head, right? even other dark-skinned people treat dark-skinned people a certain way and say dark-skinned people. Motherfuckers be looking exactly like the motherfucker they saying is ugly. Right? Right? But for a light-skinned woman to say a bunch of dark-skinned women are ugly, that's out of order. And you know it's out of order. But we in the South. And this is how things go. So I believe that they ain't cute. What's the opposite of cute? Ugly. So what you trying to say, bitch? We ain't cute. And when I be looking at Leticia like she's so pretty. She is so pretty. I be looking at her like, girl, you a bad bitch. But you got this nigga over here, and he got you. If that lady separated herself from that man, her whole face would change. She's holding, like you could see where she's holding, like her body looks okay, but it doesn't match all this going up all around here, right? Around in this area, she has a lot of stored stuff, and it's probably from him, right? Her relationship, how she's showing up, she's storing stuff. So she says they told Tamara she don't stand in her shit. Leticia starts yelling. Tamara said, "Okay, girl, you done started hollering. That's my cue to get the fuck up out of here." They're like, "Tamara, don't leave yet." She's like, "Bitch, I can't deal with this." Her voice changes and everything. She said she couldn't deal with this. I can't be under stress. They don't know she's pregnant. That's another thing. And I bet they would be like, "Oh my God, like, oh, we're fucked up. She's pregnant." And then the fact that she's pregnant, they don't know. That shows you how close she is to them. She told Aikisha, Latrice gets mad next week that Aikisha knew that that Tambra was pregnant. So we'll see how they resolve that conflict. But that was it, y'all. Take care of each other. I know it was super long because this particular episode had a lot of themes, especially where it relates to Leticia and Glenn, and how it's like a lot of people are in relationships like that, where the woman is a go-getter, ambitious. The man has what he has, but her ambition and her trajectory is bothering him. And there are millions of women in relationships with men who want them to be a certain way. And these women don't marry a woman who's ambitious. If you want a bit, you know how many bitches you can go find who don't want an education, who want to be a bum? Go find them women. Go find them. Y'all know y'all want to take the women down. You feel like I can bring her down. Silicon Valley, men in Silicon Valley, they bet with their other friends how they can get their wives who are accomplished and have multiple degrees. They try to see who they can make the housewife. Which of us can get our wife to not use her degrees, to not use her education, who can sit her at home? That's what they do. And those women find out, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a housewife. Girl, what? I don't want to manage a house. Some women thrive in that. I feel like you should open a business. Some women thrive in that. But that was the episode, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.